This is How I Met My Brother. Welcome back to How I Met My Brother podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Cody, and this is my co-host, the magnificent Jeffrey Warchalik. What's going on, Jeff?
Not much. I had a great day. Didn't work. Instead, I played TPC River Highlands. Played 18 holes there. Championship course. PGA Tour goes there every June for the Travelers Championship, so I'm riding high.
Riding high on
super happy
on
for
a golf day?
Yeah, no rain today. Can't ask for anything better.
Man, I woke up and immediately had to deal with problems at work, so I get what you mean. I'm flying high, baby.
I had a couple of those on the ride to the course.
Hey, there you go.
But we fixed it. It's all good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, real quick,
man. Yeah,
because I want to address this before we get too deep. I'd like to walk back a couple comments I had on the last episode.
No, you can't walk back, but I'll let you try to. Go ahead.
I said Nickelback is, quote, unbelievable. I wouldn't say that. I think I was just really excited at the time.
I think you think they're unbelievable.
And that you can, quote, do so many things to their music.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
They're not unbelievable. I like them, but they're not like, one of the greatest bands ever. I just really like the sound, and I like, as I said, they make a lot of different kinds of music. Music to work out to, music to be sad to cry to. All of those things. So I just want to get that off my chest before people think I'm like a freak or something. So
yeah, hey, good. I'm glad. Anything else? You good?
I thought I had another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I guess not.
No?
I guess, yeah. It's good enough.
All right. Well, I was just going to say, I'm glad that you got that off your chest, buddy.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that all week, actually.
Yeah, I bet. I actually bet you have been.
I have. You know me. As soon as we left last week, I walked down the stairs and I was like, "Oh man, I can't believe I said all that. Oh man, what a joke." You
started listening to Nickelback in the car and you were like, "This is just not unbelievable."
They're not unbelievable. They are so mediocre.
All right. Well, anyways, back to work.
Yes.
What I was gonna say is, the only thing that gets me through work is the little things that happen throughout the day that are just funny, from whether it's from a problem, mm-hmm. or just one of your reps, or I don't know, just a coworker that you just even if it's annoying, sometimes you kind of just look at it and you're like, man, this makes my day interesting.
Sure. And
I was remembering an email that I got. So we hired this new set of reps, probably 5 weeks ago. And one of them is just so enthusiastic.
Nice.
And yeah, I know. And this guy's he cold calls all day. So I guess you have to be, but
yeah.
He's just super it's over the top, which in some ways is good because it boosts morale and people are like, oh, at least this guy's
mm-hmm.
optimistic about things. But he just says some of the wackiest stuff, and then the thing that gets me it can be annoying, but I think is sometimes I just look at it and I just laugh because I'm like, man, this is what is going on. And he sent me this email,
mm-hmm.
and what he does is he starts off his emails and messages with this whole long thing, and then gets into it about what he wants.
Okay.
So but usually it's I hope you have a very blessed, energetic, full of life day, and just goes on, and
nice.
then we'll go into this long explanation oh, I need help with doing this, and oh yeah, for sure, man, thanks, you too, let's get into it. But he sends me this email the other day and I laugh, so I want to read it to you. It says, "Good morning, Jacob. I hope that you are feeling well and with peace in your mind. I hope that in your day you can recognize every blessing that is given to you by our Heavenly Father, and by recognizing them, your heart can feel amazing gratitude, bringing health and unlimited abundance to you and everybody that you love. I need your help getting more leads." Bro, it just killed me. I was like, man,
man.
what? Which is it's just funny.
That's so sweet.
I know, it's such a nice...
What a nice guy.
But it's just, like, funny how it just goes from, like...
That...
all of this to, like, I need your help getting leads.
Into, I'm not going to make enough money to put food on my table if you don't help me.
Oh, man, yeah, it's just... It made me laugh. And I just thought, like, man, this guy sends these messages all the time that are just, like, so, like, out there, too. Like, here's another one.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I don't want to put this guy on blast, but...
No, it's good.
I think it's funny.
We're complimenting him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's good. Yeah. He says, he asked me when I went to Florida to visit Alyssa. I told him I was off one day from work, and he was like, "Oh, like where'd you go?" And I was like, "Oh, I went to Florida." You know, and he's like, "Oh, did you go to the beach?" I was like, "Yeah, it was a good time." Then he says, "Wow, I know for a fact that grounding yourself at the beach and getting all the phytonutrients that the sun gives us recharges us with healthy energy. Someday I'll visit Florida. And once I do, I will get 33 knacks," which is like the appointments that we set.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
A month consistently. And I was just like, bro, like, where does this guy come up with these phytonutrients?
That's so funny.
Like, I think that could all be boiled down to, wow, the sun is good for you. I'm glad you had fun. You know what I mean?
Help me get more leads.
I know, that one was just out of the blue.
How did he spell it?
P-H-O-T-O? P-H-Y-T-O. N-U-T-R-I-E-N-T-S. I think it's correct.
Okay. we're gonna, you know.
We gotta look this up.
Yeah, phytonutrients.
Yeah, it might be good. I mean, we could leave it for Vlad, too. He gets all the good facts.
Okay. Yeah, he can, it is a real thing. Wow. Alright. Well, I guess all the science courses I took didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, that's what, you know, maybe you just need to be more like this guy.
I thought it was photonutrients, but maybe I'm just mixing that up with photosynthesis and all of those things, I guess. That's great, though. What a guy. Have you met him?
Just over Zoom.
Okay,
he lives in Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah. He's a contractor that we hired.
Nice.
For sales. But, yeah, so it's just funny. And then, like, it got me thinking, and this is something that I want your opinion on.
Okay, good.
So, it got me thinking about how people will, like... There's phrases that we all use, but I think sometimes we don't think about it when we say it.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, like, one is, like, feel better.
Yeah.
Like, what an aggressive phrase. Like, it's not like... I mean, some people say, I hope you feel better. But when people just say, feel better, it's like feel better. Well, all right, Carly, I'm trying. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know? Or, like, get well soon. Like, don't you think that we're trying to get well soon?
Yeah, I think it's because those phrases are shortened. Instead of saying, I hope you feel better soon, or I hope you get well soon, we're saying get well soon. So it sounds like you're being, you know, demanding.
I know. I just think it's funny that we just say, like, yeah, feel better.
You know what I think is funny is when you say things, I'm trying to think of the words to put this together. So, I can't think of the example I'm thinking of, but, like, when you say things that mean, like, the opposite of...
Oh.
I
know what you're
such a good
about.
example. It's on the tip of my tongue. It'll come. But, like, and over time, as a society, we've just grown to know what they mean.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid,
I get it. It definitely... I mean, obviously, when someone says feel better, you're like, oh, thanks so much.
Yeah.
But, like, I said that to someone the other day, and I just, like, read my text again, and I was like, feel better. Like,
did you put a period at the end of it?
No, nothing. Just feel better.
Mm.
And it was just
comes
like,
off a little aggressive.
When I just... If I like, came over from, like, Europe or some other country where you don't really get it, and someone was just like, feel better, I'd be like, yo, what? Like, chill out. I'm trying, yo.
Yeah, I think the English language is so much different than other languages, and it's so much harder to learn, too.
That's what I've heard.
So, like, compared to Spanish or, like, other languages that make more sense to learn, it's like English. I feel bad for the people that have to learn English as a second language because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And, like, the difference between affect and effect, like, how those two words, like, mean different things, or one is like like you have to use them in different places. Like those things just don't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. A lot of things in America don't make sense. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy to me that we use our own, like, measuring system.
Yes, that also
where the
doesn't
rest
make
of the
any
world,
sense. Yeah.
like, I remember when my brother moved to Thailand, I was in, like, he would be like, oh, we're showing, like, we're this many meters away, or
What's
like,
a meter?
or, you know, like on the, remember I told you that story about when we were driving and it was like kilometers per second instead of,
Kilometers per hour?
or per hour, besides, instead of miles per hour. Like, at first I was like, that's so stupid. Like, everybody should just do miles per hour. Everybody should just do, you know, feet and stuff. And then my brother was like, bro, you know that, like, literally everywhere else uses the metric system. And I was like, wow, we are a bunch of clowns.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's because, you know, I think it's that America mentality of like America. Like, we do everything bigger and better. Whereas we probably do things bigger, but definitely not better for the most part.
I just found out, because I looked it up. There's 3 countries in the world do not use the metric system as the official system of measurement. The United States, Liberia, and Myanmar?
Where is that?
It looks like it's an over that way.
Asia?
Yeah.
Dang, what do they... I wonder if they use the same thing as America or if they have their own.
Is it called like the imperial system or something?
That's another thing. Imperial, if it is called that, that's like, just reminds me of like...
Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Empire.
The imperial system, an old British system of measuring units, including inch, foot, yard, mile, ounce, pound, gill, pint, and gallon. What is a gill? Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why we couldn't just conform to the world for once.
I know.
And you know what I thought was surprising too, talking about America, although this isn't America, I thought it was surprising. My train of thought just makes no sense.
It's not coming out of the train station correctly.
No, it's not. Like,
it's derailed.
Just like all my drives today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
That's sad.
There was a school shooting in Russia today, and
Really?
I thought that was like an American thing too. Like, America has by far the most shootings. But I was surprised because I got a news alert, which I never do, about a major shooting in another country.
In Russia?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I just, like, didn't, like, because of, like, all the thing that's happened with, like, Russia and Ukraine and all that kind of stuff, like, in my head, like, Russia just doesn't have schools.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, I just think, like, man, like, they're at war and they're just, you know, like, everybody's fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's sad.
Yeah. Here's another little stat. The most school shootings from, this is a little dated, but January 2009 to May 2018. United States has 288. The next closest country is Mexico with 8.
But do you think that they're just not recorded the same way?
Not really, no. I don't think so. No.
You're saying they're not recorded, or you don't agree with me?
No, I don't agree with you.
But, like Mexico, like, I don't know.
What?
I just feel like there's no the cartel runs Mexico.
They have no reason to shoot up a school.
They have probably plenty of reasons. If it's the cartel, they don't really need a reason to do anything they want to do. But I just feel like some things just aren't reported the same.
I agree with that, but I still think the U.S. leads by a country mile.
Probably, but like to say there's only 8, like the second next is 8, like that's kind of wild. But I guess, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of crazy crap going on in America.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like overwhelming evidence that the United States leads by many, many multiples.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but...
Well, on a lighter note, I just had this random thought.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, not right now, but the other day I was walking around at work and the song kept coming in my head. And I was like, what is this? And then I remembered. Do you remember Crazy Frog?
No.
Like, he would say, like, he would do, like, remixes. Like, he did a remix of, like, of We Are the Champions.
Is this like a rapper or something?
No, he's like, it's literally like, let me pull it up real quick and see if you remember it. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's not a real person.
Is he like a DJ or whatever? Oh.
Do you remember this?
No. So it's like Marshmallow.
And look at the art cover. That's Crazy Frog.
That is a Crazy Frog right there.
You don't remember Crazy Frog?
Not even in the slightest. I don't think I was in the group of kids that like Crazy Frog.
Anyways, all right. Well, that was like a big. That was like that was one of those songs that came out and like swept the nation like Gangnam Style.
I
or
remember
like
that
What Does
one.
the Fox Say?
Okay, yeah. Or
that,
like Call Me Maybe, like Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, like song like that. Crazy Frog was like that, but like when you were in middle school. So you're probably like racing cars or something like that.
Yeah, I was busy.
Chewing dip
NASCAR,
or something, yeah.
Chewing dip. Dip. I never chewed dip in my life. Don't put that on me.
But I just randomly remembered it and at work, and I needed like something to hype me up. So I was like, bro, I'm going to blast this song in my earbuds.
Are you kidding me?
So I started blasting in my earbuds, and then I was like, all right, again. So I did it 3 times. That song over and over, and then it got me hyped. And then there's my buddy Jack was in there, and he could like, I played it so loud in my earbuds, he could hear it. He's like, what are you listening to? And I was like, yo, Crazy Frog. And he was like, bro, what? And then I played it out loud, and then we started getting hyped. And then we just started like doing like old trends. Like we started planking. Remember planking?
Did you actually?
Yeah, we started planking in our office. And it got us hyped,
I remember planking, or like parkour, how that was huge for like a minute.
Yeah, and then we left the song on and we were just like planking and we were just doing like these random like trends from back in the day when we were kids. And then the next song that came up on the queue, it's peanut butter jelly time. You remember that song?
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And that came on, we were just like, bro. We were brought back to our childhood.
So Crazy Frog is like Avicii or Marshmallow. He's a DJ.
No, I just think
is he a person or is it?
I don't know. I think. I mean, if
intelligence?
I'm being honest, I think it's an actual frog.
Wow.
Like I think it's a frog that somehow ate something that it wasn't supposed to in like a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
And then is like secretly in some random like basement or dungeon somewhere just creating this music and releasing it for all of us to hear.
Now he has this crazy musical talent.
And
but he can't like talk or anything. He still just ribbits, but he like mixes discs and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he goes, "Ba-da-dong-dong day."
And he can do that. That's the only noise he can make.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't really he hasn't hit his full form yet. It's kind of like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Remember them?
Oh yeah, I remember Alvin.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Those are real chipmunks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, who else would sing with Dave? What?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Nice try.
I don't know. I just thought of that, and I was like, man, it just brought me back to all the. Remember silly bands?
Is that the thing? So it had like it was like the gummy band thing, and it had the hand on the end, and you threw it and you stuck to stuff.
No, that is a classic though. That was. I think those were called like sticky hands or something like that.
And what are these silly hands?
Silly bands.
Silly bands.
It was like these like
those.
they were like bracelets shaped like animals.
And then you would like whip them at people, and they would wrap around their wrist. No,
that's another throwback, but not silly bands. They were like shaped like animals, and you just wore them, and everybody had a collection of silly bands.
I was sheltered as a child, so I don't really remember that. No.
Well, I remember those, and then I remembered like Tamagotchi. Remember Tamagotchi?
No. Sheltered.
Bro,
Those busy racing cars.
Jeff woke up every day at 4 a.m. and his parents were like, "Get your helmet on! You're doing 6 laps blindfolded backwards."
Yeah.
He's like, "But Mom, I just want to eat breakfast." No!
But I want to play with silly bands. I just want to be.
Mom, my Tamagotchi's been dead for 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't remember that.
Man.
What's another one though? Like, what about are we talking about like things like Chinese finger traps?
That's another one where you put it in and you can't.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was a master at getting out of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think one time I had to rip it. It got so stuck.
Really?
Yeah.
All you have to do is get it close.
I know, but
then,
like it was like actually stuck for some reason, or maybe my fingers were too big.
Had chubby little boy fingers.
Yeah, I have like little stubby, chubby fingers.
Yeah, you do.
Especially when I was a kid.
My hands are much bigger than yours.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
They're bigger than average for my size.
Mine are smaller than average.
It's true. I remember. I'll never forget going to like football camps and stuff, and they'd get all your like your height, your weight, stuff like that, and then they would also like for quarterbacks they'd measure your hands, and they were always like, "Oh, not bad for a little guy."
Not bad for a piece of crap. Get in the back line.
Not bad for an average-sized young man. It was so weird though to have your hand measured.
Yeah, that
like
is kind of weird.
The Boston College football camp I went to, that one was awesome. It was like super professional, and there were a lot of really good college coaches and whatnot. And just like we were in, not the basement, but like the first floor of Alumni Stadium in Boston, and just doing all our measurements and like benching and stuff. And it was weird. But then you get your hands measured. It's only
how do they do it from like tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not very big. I got little girl hands.
I do okay in that area, surprisingly.
They called me the Claw in high school with a uncapitalized C.
the little claw.
Yeah.
It's like in really tiny writing. The claw.
Just like in you remember in Toy. You ever watch Toy Story? Tell me you watched Toy Story.
Tons of times. Yeah.
All right, good. Remember when the little aliens are like the claw?
The claw. Yeah, I remember that.
The chosen one.
David Jr. loves the aliens.
Those are my
he
favorite,
has all sorts
bro.
Of alien stuff.
Those are my favorite. When they're like you have been chosen.
I don't think that was my favorite though. Was that actually your favorite character in Toy Story?
Probably. Dude.
Take away Woody and Buzz. Who's your favorite after that? Is it the aliens?
Probably, man. They made me laugh. Either that or Mr. Potato Head was a savage.
He was a grumpy. I mean, a grumpy old man.
But he was a savage.
He was a savage.
He just kind of said it how it was. I respected him for that.
I liked
real spud of a guy.
That's not bad.
Okay,
not bad.
Thanks.
Spud of a man. I liked Slinky a lot. He was so nice, and he was like Woody's best pal. I also liked the toy soldiers.
Wait,
they were what?
Mr. Potato Head. He was a heck of a fry. All right, I'm done. Keep going. Slinky was the reliable, loyal one.
Exactly.
The toy soldiers were pretty funny. I liked how they were like all business, you know.
I liked how they did all this crazy stuff. Like they would ride the RC car, and then like the RC car would like jump, and then the toy soldiers would do like flips through the air and
they were
like spin around.
They were soldiers, you know. I liked how they would never leave the man behind, you know, and when he gets stepped on, and they like go grab him.
I remember that.
Yeah, respect.
You know what? It was really sad, actually. So the toy store. This is kind of vulnerable, I guess.
Oh no!
It's not like
it's about
not
to get
crazy.
It's about to get deep.
No, it's not going to get super deep. Just a little bit. Like I thought about it a little bit. It wasn't like a major thing, but like the Toy Story where Andy goes off to college was like it came out right around the time that we went to college. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was like, I watched it and I was like, man, this is kind of sad. Because Toy Story, the first one came out when we were young, so it like followed our childhood completely.
No, it did. It was. I think the saddest Toy Story moment was either that or when they are all about to get incinerated, and they're all holding hands, and you just kind of think like, man, are they gonna end it on this?
Yeah.
And then guess who comes and saves them? The light flashes on. The aliens are like, the claw.
Yeah.
The claw comes back, baby.
Yeah.
So that's why they called me that in high school, because I was always clutch.
The little baby claw. I really liked the part in Toy Story where, like, all the toys, like, file together and sit on each other and stand on each other and whatnot, and, like, drive the truck around.
Oh, the Pizza Planet truck?
Yeah, the Pizza Planet truck.
Yeah, that's a classic.
You know what I've always thought about? Here's a good point that we have somehow come to. I could never write a movie like that, like an animated movie, because I am far too realistic. Like, I can't, my brain, if it's not presented to me, I can't even think about, like, toys, like, coming alive and things like that, or, like, something that's physically impossible. Like, you know how everything works out perfectly in animated movies like that? Like, somehow someone's skydiving or whatnot, and they're doing all these flips through the air, and the parachute like doesn't pull, and then out of nowhere, like, this dog or bird or something flies out and catches them, and then somehow they land perfectly. Like, things like that I can't even think of. I just can't even do it. I don't know how writers for these movies even think of these things.
Really?
I couldn't do it.
Bro, when I was a kid, I would think of the wildest crap.
Really?
Like, just insane. Like, I'm trying to think of something specific right now. I remember when I was a kid, when I was, like, really little, I did have, like, this thing. I used to play this game where, like, my, like, things would come alive.
That's cool.
Were, like, my pals.
So you lived Toy Story?
Yeah, kind of, but it was, I mean, I guess it was, because I had a little Pooh Bear when I was a kid.
Nice, I had a ticket.
And, yeah. and Pooh Bear would come alive, but, like, we would just do cool things. But then one of the coolest things that it's not really cool.
It was back in the day.
It was back
It was
for me.
20 years ago.
When I would take, like, office supplies.
Okay.
And do Toy Story with it.
That's cool.
So, like, there would be, like, the pencils and like paper clips, and, like, the evil villain was the paper clip, or the staple remover guy, and he was, like, this guy with, like, they had, like, the jaws, because he had the things to rip the staples out. He was the bad guy always, and, like, the eraser was, like, the guy who could, like, never die because he'd get, like, stabbed, but then like, be, like,
he's
alive.
fine.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Or, like, I also played this game. I was a very lonely kid.
Because you were homeschooled.
Yeah, I was homeschooled, so I was lonely. But I would go to the church because my mom worked there, and I would hang out. And so, like, there'd be, like, this random stuff, and, like, I used to take the markers and, like, pretend they were lightsabers.
Cool.
Different colors, and then I would, like, make these stories up of, like, I can combine them and make, like, a different color and to be more powerful, and I'd fight off these, and I had all these. I did it all.
See, I didn't really have that. I didn't have that, like, crazy imaginary creative mind as a child. Did you have an imaginary friend?
No, but I definitely had, like, imaginary, like, scenarios in my head where, like, that would always play out. So, for instance, like, this is actually pretty funny. So, every time that we would go on vacation, like, my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things to do, was go into the hot tub.
Yeah.
But, like, my dad would go in with me for, like, maybe 10 minutes, and then he'd get out. And then it would always be by myself in this hot tub.
Well, the hot tub is pretty hot. You're not supposed to stay in there.
Yeah, I would stay in there for, like, an hour.
Yeah. An animal.
Yeah, it was bad. But this continuous thing that I did throughout all my childhood was pretend that the hot tub was a simulator for, like, a guy, like, a robot that had to, like, save the world. So every time I stepped in the hot tub, it, like, initiated this, like, cyborg like thing that would, like, save the world. So, like, I would, like, jump from like wall to wall, because you're in water, so, like, you can, like, fly kind of, and I'd pretend, and then as soon as I had to get out, it was like he went back to, like, rest.
That's cool.
And then, like, it would be like a year, and I'd get back in, I'd remember exactly, like, oh, like, this time, like, you know, Russia's the enemy, and we need to get the the plans, or you know what I mean?
As they should be, yes.
So yeah. So no offense to you, Vlad. Sorry, buddy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So that was like my imaginary. I guess he was kind of an imaginary friend, but he only came out when I'd go into a hot tub.
I think that's how that goes, though. Like, I don't know. I never had an imaginary friend, but from what I've heard about it, and it's different for everybody. I
didn't have any friends.
Yeah, no, I had next to no friends. Not really. I mean, really, but. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool, though. I never had an imaginary friend. I was like, I didn't think like that. I was like, I like to just play with, like, little cars and construction, like dump trucks, and watch Winnie the Pooh and eat peanut butter, read Calvin and Hobbes, have a day.
Dude, I got Calvin and, dude.
I know, right there.
You're right here, baby. Just ready for you. This is
Calvin
the classic,
Hobbes,
bro.
Dude, so many memories.
Dude, this kid was
Calvin
me, bro.
Hobbes. Yeah, he was.
Like, I would do this I would do everything in here. I just didn't, like, the only thing that's different is, like, my Pooh Bear, like, didn't come to life and we didn't always do stuff together. But everything in here I probably did.
You know what I did do as a kid? I used to write comics, actually.
Really?
All the time. I had, I wish I could remember the name, but I had like a series that I wrote. And I wrote a bunch of comics of this little series that I made up. And I sent it into the Norwich Bulletin, just like for fun. And
they publish it?
No. They called me, actually, which this was pretty cool. I kept sending them in, not for super long, but a little bit, maybe a month or so, 2 months. And they were like, this is cool, you're doing a good job, kid. We actually want to start a comic feature with kids' comics, and we wanted to have you do it. And so they asked me to do it, and of course I said yes. I was like, oh, this is amazing, I love this. And then it just didn't come to fruition, didn't happen, they didn't publish it or whatever. It was fun though. That I really
But you did it for them, and they just didn't publish it, or like they just didn't ever happen?
Well, I sent them in a bunch of comics, and they never got published, but they said they were going to. I don't know why they didn't. There must have been some reason, but they never published any kids' comics. There was supposed to be like a small section where kids, like a couple kids they selected, wrote the comics.
Yeah, man.
And that was cool. I remember getting that phone call, and I was like stoked, and my parents were happy and proud of me because I kept like consistently putting these comics together and sending them.
What were they about?
It was like Calvin and Hobbes, but it wasn't like too imaginary. I'll ask my mom if she has them still, because I think she would, because I would really like to read those. It was like these two things. They weren't like humans, I don't think. I think they were just like two alien looking things, and they just did all this stuff.
Man,
but I wrote them in
we
like
should get those.
boxes
We gotta
and stuff.
publish those, bro.
I know, it's pretty cool.
We should get those. See, I always wanted to write comics when I was a little kid because I thought they were sweet, but my artistic ability is at -5. Like the best I could do is like draw stick figures.
Yeah.
And even those, they just don't look correct.
That's
that's
where I shined. It was like I did a lot better in the art part, and I didn't write it very well.
Bro, we could do our comic, bro.
Well, I'm not good at art anymore. So.
Yeah.
You don't use it, and you
because
lose it.
I think I could write. I think if you put something together, I could put the words in there.
You probably could.
That should be our next venture.
Maybe we'll do that.
I want to write a children's book.
Oh really? You could do that. You'd be good at that.
About Tuck.
That's cool.
And I want to publish it,
dude.
I have a lot of ideas.
Do that.
I need someone to draw, and
I don't think I'm your man.
I know. Well,
just go on Fiverr for that.
Well, whatever, man. It's whatever.
Hey, I would love to. I'd murder it though, in a bad way.
Whoa.
Wouldn't be good.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I've always wanted to write as well, but not a children's books don't really interest me.
I just want to do a series about Tuck, so that I can have them, and I really want to do it, so I give it to my mom and my dad.
That'd be cool.
And so they have these cool things, and
that's awesome. Show your kids one day.
Yeah, and give my kids, a book on it. But
I have always wanted to write a book, though.
Same. I think I will one day.
Well, you did write a book. You compiled a book.
I did. That was pretty cool.
Published, and it's on Amazon.
I am a published author.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. That was fun. I think I want to write what is it called when you write about yourself? Like an autobiography?
An autobiography, yeah.
I think I want to write an autobiography. Just kind of share the quirky, fun things / awful things that have happened in my life.
Yeah, I think that's cool to pass down in the family, and just also to have and to preserve those memories, because over time it's tough to keep those.
Yeah.
I'd also like to write, along these lines though. Have you heard of Storyworth?
Yes.
Prior to the podcast that we listened to, I heard of them long ago, and I've always wanted to do that. So Storyworth, no free ads, but free ad. What you do is
we won't give you a promo code or anything.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Jeff. No, I'm just kidding.
Anchor sure is great. So Storyworth.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. What you do is you pay them around $100, and what happens is Storyworth people will send someone in your life a prompt to write about. So every week for the whole year, they write, this is I have no idea if this is real or not, but what's your favorite childhood memory and why, or something like that, or a time that you struggled and overcame something. Mm-hmm. Just so you give it to your parents or your grandparents or whoever to fill it out and to write about it. So then in a year from then, they publish the book and they send it to you. And I've always wanted to do that, especially with my grandfather. I think I'm going to ask him if he would do that, because I think it would just be awesome to have all those
sweet
answers. And
when I heard the ad,
idea.
I actually went on the website to see, and I never did it. I think I got distracted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to write up my own book, and then I would call it the Da Vinci Cody.
I like it. I would read it. The thing that's tough with autobiographies, I mean, you're probably not doing it to get or you wouldn't do it to get a lot of purchases. I don't imagine, unless you blew up and pod blew up and you're a celebrity or whatever. But the thing with autobiographies about people that no one really knows is that people don't buy them unless they know you. I would read it and I would buy it.
Yeah.
But it's tough to get people to buy those. So
I think
it's more for you.
Yeah, I think for that my purpose would to be just to keep my life alive, my story alive. Yeah. And especially for people that know me, that or my kids one day or my grandkids could be oh, I wonder what Grampy did, in the 50 years ago in 2013. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've always writing is one of my passions. I would say I don't do it a lot now, but in college I loved it, and then writing sermons and Bible studies, I love that too. Just something about it. I like to express myself with written words.
See, the problem is I'm not a great writer. It takes me a long time to write even a paragraph. Yeah. Because I don't know how I'm gonna word it. But when I get into something, I could talk it. So I'd probably have somebody write it for me, and I would just sit there and talk.
We would make a good team, because I can't really talk about things or present them like that, but I can write very well.
Hey, look at us right here.
Yep, here you go. All right, it'll be on Amazon in a year.
Yeah, no, give us a month.
A month.
Yeah, I'm pretty fast. Anyways,
yeah.
I got something else for you.
Okay.
I was watching TV the other day.
Okay.
And I was watching, I think, on Hulu, so it was a TV show on Hulu, and this ad came on, and for some reason, the ad was about some show about whales.
Their targeting may have gotten a little bit messed up.
Yeah. And you know how whales have to breathe?
Yes.
Every once in a while, they gotta go up. Yeah, and they breathe air.
Yeah.
Do they ever feel when you jump, before you jump in the water and you hold your breath, but let's say you accidentally go under too fast and you suck water up your nose. Do whales ever feel that? Do they when they blow the air out and they get more air and they go down? But what if they go down I wonder if they're just if they just have the instinct to not do that, or it's just muscle memory. But do they ever go down too early and then get water up their blowhole? And then they like start choking on, or like they like, you know what I mean?
Well, I can't answer with 100% certainty because I'm not a whale nor a marine biologist, but I would say no. I think they probably have some kind of safeguard against that. What do you think?
I think they don't. Because, like I said, like either there's like a safeguard or there's like some animal instinct that they have that like causes them to not.
I would agree with
that. But then I think like, but they have to breathe. But like, what if like they were breathing up on the surface, and then like I don't know what's I guess like a man went to go kill them, like throw spears at them like the old days to get their blubber, and they wanted to go under quickly because they saw that. And they forgot to close their blowhole. I don't know. I thought about that because I like saw it and I was like, man, like that's kind of wild. Same thing, I guess, with dolphins, right? Dolphins have to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why.
Dolphins more so because like, how do they time that? You know, like what if they're jumping and they're like, and then they just hit a wave, and then it goes under. Like, does it go up, or is there like something in the blowhole, kind of like you know when you like put air in your tires,
yeah,
and you like it doesn't release until you press it in.
Yes.
Maybe like it can't go in there unless it's like nothing can go in there unless it's being pressed.
There could be some kind of pressure aspect. I don't know. Why are you curious about this?
I just thought about it. I was like, man, like, do whales like? I just want like I could see like a cartoon like where they accidentally do that and then he's like like coughing.
There you go. There's your cartoon idea. Tuck goes to chase the whale in the ocean and the whale doesn't get his blowhole closed in time and the whale chokes and dies.
Tuck saves him. No, Tuck saves him.
Tuck saves him before he dies.
Tuck saves him.
Super Tuck. What are you writing that down?
Super Tuck. Yeah, let me write that down real quick.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You know what they say? Curiosity killed the Cody. So watch out. Yeah, not bad.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I have two things.
We're full of good puns today.
Yeah, about dolphins. Did you know, in Florida, when I was with Ricky in Florida, we rode jet skis.
Big Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Did you know that we rode right next to the dolphins?
Really? What
yeah,
if
like
you
they
hit one?
No, they came up to us. It was wild.
Oh, like on accident, or like.
I don't know. They rode with us.
It wasn't like an experience. Like you didn't pay to like ride with them.
No, we went out in the ocean on jet skis and
they just. That's crazy.
It was like literally from me to you. There was dolphins.
To have the whole football team from Miami swimming next to you. That's insane, bro. Are they as fast in the water as they are on the field?
Bro, Tyreek Hill can run, dog.
I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know how you're a cheetah and a dolphin at the same time.
That guy can swim, man. That's really funny. That was a good one.
No, but that is crazy, though.
Yeah, it was cool.
I've never... Actually, no, I have touched a dolphin once. Mm-hmm. When my brother... We went to SeaWorld when we were kids, and my brother, like, actually swam with them. Mm-hmm. And I just, like, I think I was too little or too scared to, like, go in there. But I pet one.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like...
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't touch it because they were in the wild, so I figured I shouldn't. But it was so... And they would, like, jump, like, you know, like in the movies.
Yeah.
Like crazy. My other thing...
Just like the movies.
About TV... We just started the show. You know that new show Dahmer on Netflix?
Yeah,
about Jeffrey Dahmer?
I actually am. I'm. You started that?
Yes.
Is it good?
It is heart pounding.
I heard it's very like. I heard it's good quality.
We've only been through one episode, but the first episode was unbelievable. It was spine tingling. The whole first episode.
When they casted that guy, I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
He played an American Horror Story, and he plays a few other roles that I've seen him in. Mm-hmm. He is such a good actor, especially he played an American Horror Story. Obviously, you're creepy.
Yeah.
So he plays like good creepy roles like that, and when they casted him as Dahmer, I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be good.
Oh, and you look at like the wardrobe and the makeup and everything. Like we watched it, and then we Googled like Jeffrey Dahmer and what he looked like. It's like so spot on.
Yeah.
It is.
Man.
They totally killed it.
I'll have to check that out.
First episode was crazy, and it ends in a way that you don't think it's going to end. The first episode. So there's a little cliffhanger. And I feel like we're talking about creepy roles and whatnot. I feel like that's where I would shine in Hollywood. I feel like I could play the crazy guy every time, and I could nail it.
I could see it.
I'm
helps
telling you,
because you're kind of crazy.
I am. I'm crazy and I'm creepy.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a loner.
I'm creepy.
You know, kind of a sketchy guy.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I'd let my kid near you if I had one. Like,
Good.
Stay away from that guy.
Stay away from Uncle Jeffy.
Oh,
he has a dark past.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You're already halfway there.
I am. I'm the Dom.
The Dom.
Yeah, it's weird when they say Jeff in the movie.
Yeah.
So you don't hear that name too often.
Do you ever think sometimes like? Okay, I can't say that.
Yeah.
But do you ever think sometimes like, man, like if I like wasn't so sane, or like maybe if I started doing drugs when I was a kid, like do you think like, man, would I be a serial killer? Like, you know what I mean? Do you ever have that thought?
Nope.
I wouldn't say I have it myself, but like I feel like there's some people I look at and I'm like, man, like if they weren't like, if they didn't have like what they had, meaning like good family, good friends, like all this stuff,
could they veer off?
Yeah, like they just had
path?
these tendencies. Like there was this guy actually at the basketball tournament that I coached at this past weekend, and you could just look at him and like his hair was disheveled. He was always like yelling and like not in like a bad way, but just like always yelling and hyped up and kind of like just like weird. And even every kid on my team was like, yo, that's the coach that's psychotic. Like he's one of those guys that's like screaming like keep your hands up like the whole time, that kind of guy. And I just looked at him and I was like, bro, I could see if this guy wasn't like coaching basketball and probably doing pretty well for himself that he would be a serial killer. I just had that vibe.
I mean, I walk by people every day. Not every day, but I walk by people and I'm like, man, that guy, he just looks off. I feel like there's a lot of people like that where if they weren't in the situation that they are, they could totally veer off into the wrong direction. Yeah. I think that's a real thing.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you listen to these documentaries and I'm sure, like, at what point do you just, like, think to yourself, like, man, I'm going to go on a string of murders? You know what I mean?
What?
Like, at what point do they just, like... At what point did they turn from, like, regular human to psychotic killer?
Yeah, you know
what I mean?
It's true, because a lot of them you hear, like... You know, I tried to resist the urge, like to kill or to do whatever, and it's like I was doing okay for a while, and then I just became overcome by the feeling, of wanting to kill people or do whatever to them. Dahmer would kill people, and then he would like cut them up into pieces and eat them and stuff too.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's unbelievable.
I just don't get how. I just don't get how you get to that. I mean, like. I'm sure, like, somebody on here that's listening or something that's like
a serial killer.
No, there probably is statistically.
Yeah.
But but I'm sure like someone in psychology is like, oh well, this part of the brain doesn't get shut off, or I'm sure there's like some trauma in their past, that caused them to have this type of those urges or whatever, or like, or they just didn't deal with. But I just think like at what point, like there was a kid. I saw this Facebook post the other day of this kid who like, I think he like accidentally killed someone, or like he committed murder.
Yeah.
And then, but it was like, it wasn't like he tried to hide or anything. He just did it out of anger.
Yeah. And
like got sentenced to prison or whatever. But like this girl that I know like reshared it and was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. Like he was so quiet in high school. He was such a nice guy. He would never hurt I'd never heard a fly. And then like he just like went off with this rage and killed someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, at what point did it change where like he would never hurt anything to, like I just don't get it.
From what I remember, with psychology and science and all that, is that the amygdala has a big impact on like processing of emotions and a lot of disorders that would affect that, like borderline personality disorder and bipolar and anxiety disorders and things like that. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know if they know for sure, but I know there's been a lot of research about it, so that'd be my guess.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is.
That's crazy.
We're actually watching as well The Patient on Hulu, the one with Steve Carell.
Oh, Jinx, you owe me a Mountain Dew. Get it out of my fridge right now.
No. You can have that though.
Go ahead.
That's also a decent series. I don't mind it.
That's on Amazon, right?
It's on Hulu.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Hulu.
Maybe that's where I saw the ad.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's fun to see Steve Carell in a different kind of role. Instead of being like the funny guy, he's like the therapist and he's very serious, and it's like really a different feel for him, so I think that's cool. The guy that plays Sam, I think his name is, the main character, who is the serial killer, is also very good in it.
Yeah, Steve Carell, he has some roles where you're just like... Yeah, he just like, because he's usually the funny guy, you know, like Anchorman, he's the guy, like, what's his name, like Brick or something like that, and then obviously The Office and stuff. But then like, there's a movie, like he's in, what's that movie called? The Big Short.
Yeah.
And he's like a businessman, serious. He's kind of funny still, but like he's business stockbroker guy. Yeah. And then like he's in, that movie. And there's something else that he's in he's really serious in, but I can't remember. But it just shows like because some people just stick to comedy. Yeah. Like Will Ferrell, he's not in. If I can think of any serious roles, some people just stick to that. But then there's some actors that are just like, man, like they can do comedy, suspense, horror, like drama, like all these different ones, and they can do it very well.
Like
so,
Matthew McConaughey, one of my favorites.
Or Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is good. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo.
Also very good. You know what I liked Steve Carell in a lot? This was one of the earlier ones, is 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah. I think he's really good in that. It's a comedy, obviously, but I thought he was really good. And then obviously The Office, too.
No, that was like perfectly his comedy.
I know.
Like, I think that's like it just fit him so well. That's a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. What's your favorite actor? Do you have one?
I think you mean who? Are you objectifying these actors?
I know, I'm sorry. Who is your favorite actor? He or she? Or they?
I don't know. I feel like it changes.
Yeah.
But I guess like in a TV sense, I think Bryan Cranston is one of my favorite actors.
He's great.
He's phenomenal. He's great. And I think it's because when I was a kid, I used to watch him in Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah. And he was great in that. And then as an adult, watching him in Breaking Bad, it's kind of same thing. Like he was in like a comedy role and did a great job. And then and these were like two big TV shows in my life. Like I used to watch Malcolm in the Middle like every day.
Yeah, me too.
And then I watched like Breaking Bad like 3 times, and he's phenomenal in that. So like he's one of my favorite TV actors for sure. And then movie actors, which he's good in some movies. I've seen him in some movies. I can't remember.
I can't either. I can't place.
There was one there that I saw the other day, and I was like, I didn't know he was in that. But as far as like movie actors, I don't know, man. I think that's tough. Chris Pratt is pretty good.
Not bad.
He plays his part really well. One of my favorites back in the day was Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah.
I loved him.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he was all right.
He was all right.
He was all right. But Morgan Freeman was my guy. I think there's an album on Facebook that I have that just says Morgan Freeman, my hero, and it's just 3 pictures of Morgan Freeman.
Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous.
Yeah, I was a weirdo back in the day. You should see. I look at my Time Hop sometimes, which is like an app. I don't know if you know this.
I know what Time Hop is. Yes.
Do you want me to mansplain?
Yeah, mansplain it to me.
It's this app, so it's on your phone. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I go on my time hop sometimes, and it will show me, like, my Facebook statuses from like 15 years ago, and it's just like bored, period. Study, then maybe Jesse's house, question mark.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then like everything's spelled wrong, and I'm just like, bro, who let me on a computer?
Or like, yeah.
Or like the thought of me like waiting for my internet to dial up just to type that status is like
absurd.
Yeah, because what else was I was either doing that or I was playing on miniclips.com.
Miniclip.
Remember miniclips, bro?
What a
remember 8-Ball Pool and International Business,
man.
bro?
It's the best. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man. There was those websites like they would be blocked by the school, but then you'd go on like there was this one website that I found and it was like schoolbus.edu or something like that, and you go to the bottom and click this link and it bring you to a game website.
Dude, it's the best.
Oh man,
those
back in the day.
Days.
Now kids like full on like kids in high school, and I know this because of my girlfriend's sisters.
Yeah.
They'll like all the kids in high school like download VPNs on their iPhone. Like they're like that's like next level crap.
I know.
Just to like Snapchat.
I know a guy that did that in high school not too long ago.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite actors. Thanks for asking.
Oh. So let's move on. I'm just go ahead, buddy.
I'm a big Matthew McConaughey guy. I highly recommend reading his
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
That's Matthew McConaughey, right?
All right. Gotta get some of that southern twang going.
I like Christopher Walken too. I think he's funny.
Okay.
Anyways, keep going.
You should read. I don't know if you'd be into it or not, but Matthew McConaughey's book Green Lights, really, really super good. Especially if you're interested in like, not interested in doing it, just you like to read about like actors and like how they got their start and what they do to go through roles and things like that.
Yeah.
His book was awesome and it explained a lot of that and a lot about his life. I highly recommend.
I'm more of like a guy who watches that in a video.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that too, but for some reason I really like biographies by actors. About actors.
I'm not a big reader, but I have read Steven Adams, who is a basketball player, and he talks about his upbringing, and I do enjoy that. Like, he was born in a family of like 15 in New Zealand, and he was the youngest, and he was like, believe it or not, one of the smaller ones.
Really?
And he's like,
that's insane.
His sister is like the New Zealand. She was on the Olympic team for like shot put.
Wow.
Like their whole family is just freakish athletes, like huge giants. But
I would also say, I'll do one more. And we can move on. Because I know you're dying to.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I've actually been waiting. No, I know. I was gonna say I've been waiting for weeks to know who your favorite actor is.
Shut up.
I wrote on my calendar this morning. I was like, Jeff's favorite actor today.
I'd say Matthew I like.
You already said Matthew McConaughey.
But he's probably like my favorite. I would say overall. Okay. I really like Leo. Leo's good, but. Kind of one that's not as mainstream, but still fairly mainstream. James McAvoy in the movie Split. I thought he did like just an unbelievable job playing all those different personalities. Like, he was awesome. He plays
a few. He plays. But he's one of those other guys who can play in any. Like, he can play as a crazy guy, and then he plays as Professor X in the X-Men.
Yes.
But in like the newer X-Men. Mm-hmm. And he does a great job at that. So like he can do like I said, like horror / suspense and fantasy. Like usually like if you're stuck in like fantasy, you're just a fantasy actor.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Kind of like the guy who plays Gandalf. I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
He's like one of them basically plays like a wizard. You know.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate him and other people like that. Like you said, there's a lot of people that just stay in their lane. And I feel like I could never, as an actor, I don't know about you, but I feel like I would have to stick to like the serial killer, the creepy guy, something like that. Like I couldn't play the funny guy, I couldn't play the romantic guy. I would have to be like a suspense actor.
See, I'd have to be a comedy guy at all times. I think I could, because like, I just like, everything's funny to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if I was in, like, a suspense movie and, like, they, like, add me to do these lines, like, I would start reading them and then I would want to laugh.
Yeah, that's
I'd be
so
like,
not
this
me.
is, like... I could probably keep... I've done plays. Did you know that? I didn't So my church used to do these Christmas plays that were, like, these big productions where, like, 800 people would come to.
Wow.
And, yeah. It used to be big,
800.
yeah. 800.
I'm gonna ask your mom if that's an accurate number.
Yeah, ask my mom.
I will ask her.
It was around 700 to 800 in one of the things. And then some when it got smaller it would be like 500.
Wow.
But it would be like 2 shows or 3 shows. But anyways, we would do these and I was the lead guy.
Were you really?
Yeah. Like, you ask. I'm
going to ask.
And one of them, I was Michael the Archangel.
Wow. That's
and
cool.
I had the lead role, and I even had to sing a solo. And I sang a solo in front of everybody.
That's amazing. That's cool.
I was good. I was a good actor. I thought, when I was a kid, I actually wanted to be an actor. I thought it would be cool. But then, like, I don't know, life.
When you're 13 years old, life starts to hit you hard.
Yeah, it hit me hard. I was smoking a pack a day.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through things.
That's cool. I always wish I did, like, plays and stuff. I wish I got into theater and things like that when I was younger, because I think I would enjoy that, and I think that would have been good for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of your mother, it was lovely to see her at the bridal shower on Saturday. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I was happy she came. She stayed right till the end.
Yeah?
The very, very end, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's kind of like me. Like, she loves social interaction. So, if she's there and she likes the people, she'll be there.
Mm.
You know?
Her and Juanita's mom got along super well.
Yeah. My mom said that... actually, last night, she was like, yeah, I met Juanita again, and we were just hitting it off. And I was like, oh, good, Mom, good, yeah.
She have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk too much more. I was watching football, and I was like, just kind of like, oh, yeah, cool.
So she didn't have fun?
No, she actually said it was the worst time of her life.
I knew it.
She was like, the people who planned it were just awful. Like, there was too many gifts. Like, she was like, wow, what is she, like, selfish or something? Like, it was just bad.
She was talking about how she had to get... This came from Jess. She was talking about how she had to get... How'd it go? She had to get Alyssa Jess approved because your mom loves Jess so much that if Jess didn't like who you were dating, then... your mom probably wouldn't like her either because of how much she loves Jess.
Well, it's also like my mom knows Jess a decent amount where like Jess is, as you know, is very
honest.
Blunt
with
and
her
honest.
Opinions, yes.
So she knows that if she asks Jess is not going to be like, oh yeah, she's sweet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's where she looks for because she obviously can't take my word for it because I'm biased.
True. Yeah.
So, and you would be like, yeah, she's a good girl.
I would say that's all of them, yeah. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
So she definitely looks for Jess's approval on that, which is good. It's a good idea.
Yep, and she was past the test so far.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We'll see.
We missed her on Saturday, actually. It would have been nice to have her there.
I know, she was she was happy that she was invited. So, that's good.
Absolutely. Of course she was.
But... yeah. All right, you want to do a little facts with Vlad before we get out of here?
Yeah, what do you got?
All right, let's see. Vlad,
bring out Vladimir.
What do you got for us?
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Oh, hey. Oh, hello, guys. Hello. Okay, we'll get right to it. I went to school a little bit for biology, if you ever heard of it, because very smart me. Yes, I'm very smart. Phytonutrients, Jeff, is not photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is when plant eat energy from sun and becomes big and strong. Phytonutrients are when we get sun as human. It collects into our skin, our epidermis, if you may, and it creates big muscle in us. So that's kind of where that goes.
Hey, easy. I never said photosynthesis was phytonutrients.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
easy there,
just
fella.
don't interrupt when I'm talking. All right. Then you asked in imperial system. You said, what is a gill? Well, gill is what is on side of fish, and however long that is one gill. So
Wow.
gill makes fish breathe easier underwater. Human cannot breathe, but
gosh.
fish can because of gill. And then whales. You know, we talked about a little bit whales and if they choke underwater, if they can breathe, if water gets in blowhole or not. Well, let me tell you, there is a thin layer of blubber around blowhole that closes when getting air in so that water cannot go through it, and they call it the blub hole. Big blub hole that protects the whales from choking and dying underwater. So no need to save whale. It is always safe. It is good.
Well, thank you, Vlad. I appreciate the input, even though you're a little bit snotty today.
Yeah,
A little bit rude.
It's all right. Just turn his mic off real quick. Thanks. Yeah, he's a little. We haven't paid him in a while, so
Yeah.
we'll get on that.
He
But
needs more vodka
yeah,
in the bread.
yeah. Well, that's kind of racist, but
Well, hey, that's how he prefers to be paid. That he said himself.
Oh man. Yeah,
I
you're right.
pay in vodka in bread, and he's happy.
Yeah. If I didn't turn his mic off, he'd be going off on you right now.
Yeah,
I'll just-
our security guards are holding him back
Yeah.
right now.
We need him though. He produces the show very well. All props to him. That's the only reason we get it on the air every week. Well, thanks, Vlad, for that. We're always a little bit smarter after that.
Facts.
Facts,
With Vlad.
literal facts.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Well, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok. Our email is howimetmybrotherpod@gmail.com. It's all How I Met My Brother Pod on YouTube as well. And so, check us out on YouTube, subscribe. I like watching the video. It's funny. It's better when you can see the face to the I was going to say to the noise. I guess that's all we make
The
is
face
noise.
to the noise.
But the face to the voice, I should say, maybe. I don't know. But check us out and give us a follow, like, rate, subscribe, all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I don't know if I would watch this episode though because I look like garbage today. So
You look beautiful.
this one's not going on YouTube anyway.
No, it is.
It
We'll
is.
we'll
Yeah, it is.
Photoshop a whole new outfit over you.
There we go.
All right. See you next week.